If you're not following me on Instagram, you'll have missed these cool AI-generated images that I've started posting recently. However, if you do follow me on Instagram, you might still be a bit confused about what they mean. Atherealis is a world-building project still in its very early stages. It's a fantasy world designed to be an engaging and fun way of connecting our past, our present, and our future, serving as a kind of cinematic universe for the ideas and concepts that I use to inspire, motivate, and steer people in the right direction with their goals. Atherealis offers an immersive experience that goes beyond what you might normally think of as the work of a personal trainer. But I want to use this to get you inspired to work on important things, starting with your health and fitness. Here's a quick intro. Atherealis is a beautiful land of peace and abundance, organized into a confederation of 18 city-states, each overseen by their patrons, 9 inspiring women appearing as the muses of ancient Greek myth, and 9 heroic men appearing as the worthies of medieval chivalry. The patrons rule with justice and wisdom as a council, meeting in a grand complex of civic buildings known as the capital. This huge collection of castles, cathedrals, palaces, and gardens sits at the center of Atherealis and is home to an elite class of specially trained stewards, universally revered for their exceptional intellect, physical prowess, and emotional resilience. These volunteers dedicate themselves to serving their communities on behalf of the patrons, living purposefully according to their ancient motto, Vitalitas, Prosperitas, Agentia. Their hard work grants them access to a vast library of profound manuscripts and magical artifacts concealed deep in the labyrinthine structures of the capital. This library continuously grows as the stewards engage deeply in mysterious studies and experiments. Who knows what treasures could be hidden within those cloistered halls? On Instagram, I'm now posting AI-generated images of these stewards, wearing their distinctive black and gold outfits, surrounded by the Gothic architecture of the Capitol buildings. I hope they help to inspire and motivate you to be the best that you can be. To see more about the Atherealis project, go to gymnasium.net/Atherealis, where you will see more ways to get involved as the world continues to develop and evolve. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth influenced me to work on such a weird and unique idea? So let me talk a little bit about the inspirations for this world-building project. Marvel movies. I've already described this as a cinematic universe. These interconnected superhero movies all exist in a single universe, and the characters interact and branch off into their own plot lines. This is the same in the overlapping and evolving stories in the original comic books they're based on. By establishing both a story and a world for the story to live in, I hope to build a playground for more stories and more branching and overlapping narratives to be created. This is an invitation for you to create your own story, to become a part of the narrative of Atherealis. Computer games. When I was young, I loved playing Crash Bandicoot, a computer game where you control a mutated bandicoot, a mouse-like creature named Crash, created by an evil mad scientist. The game never made the context very clear, but if you paid attention to the background details, you could piece together the underlying plot. When I was older, I enjoyed playing a game called Assassin's Creed, where you control a secret assassin in 12th century Jerusalem. Other games in this series explored more historical settings, like Florence during the Renaissance and London during the Industrial Revolution. In these games, the background details and the characters were based on real-world history. Elements from the Assassin's Creed games have even been used to teach history through their well-researched and immersive worlds. Computer games are great at creating what's known as lore, a kind of canonical backstory behind the main plotline of the game. Fantasy games like Skyrim and Dark Souls are famous for having deep, intricate lore that can be explored further as a fun deviation from the main game. Atherealis is similarly infused with a blend of historical depth, fantasy escapism, and playful adventure in an open world. C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien. These authors are the grandfathers of the modern fantasy genre. They filled their famous stories with deep lore by creating maps and songs and languages for their fictional worlds. But they also based that lore in the history and myth from literature they studied as Oxford University professors. This made their worlds feel real and engaging as they were built upon the same symbolic language and philosophical foundations of the important pieces of literature that have inspired our culture from medieval times. Even though many of the important stories from our history are not well known today, they still live on in the substructure of The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia, inspiring virtuous living and connection with history through epic storytelling. Atherealis is also built on inspiring stories from our ancient culture. Julius Caesar, King Arthur, and figures from the Bible and Greek myth are key characters, but also the symbolic language and philosophical perspective from these timeless pieces of literature inform the world throughout to inspire virtue and wisdom. ThinkWort Games. In the book Ready Player One, Wade Watts spends most of his time in a virtual reality world called the Oasis, where advanced technology allows him to escape the real world, living out his fantasies in a computer-generated universe inspired by 80s pop culture. But in spite of all this technology, to win a special contest, Wade must demonstrate knowledge of a book called The Cave of Time by Edward Packard. This real book is the very first choose-your-own-adventure game, the predecessor to all fantasy computer games. A simple yet engaging concept where instead of a single narrative written in the third or first person, this story is written in the second person, as in you are, and offers many branching paths to follow by turning to different pages in the book. ThinkWort is someone I follow on Twitter who creates his own versions of these games inside the Twitter platform. During the pandemic, I discovered these games and found myself loving the simple yet engaging format. I highly encourage you to check out these games, which you can play for free online. So inspired by ThinkWort and Ready Player One, Atherealis will be written in the same format. A branching narrative in the second person. This is a story you can participate in and play, rather than just experience as an outsider. The SCP Foundation. SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. The SCP Foundation is a secret society that exists outside of all governments and is above all laws. Their mission is to find dangerous anomalies and neutralize them for the good of humanity. These anomalies come in many forms, from a small bottle of just 47 pills that can cure all diseases, to a sack of potatoes that never empties, to a decomposing, undead old man who can rust and rot his way through any solid material. In reality, the SCP Foundation is a collaborative online project where anybody can submit a story, always written according to the same template. This collaborative project encourages people to stick to a format and incorporate existing stories to create a single unified world. The main point here is the SCP world is our world. Even though the stories are fictional, they are designed to overlap with our real life experiences and fit in the mysterious gaps in our knowledge about the world we live in, creating an eerie feeling that an anomaly could always be nearby. In a similar way, the history that Atherealis is based on isn't a fictional history, but the same history you can investigate yourself in real life sources. Hopefully, instead of making you feel uneasy, this will inspire you to look for ways to live this story out in the real world. As Atherealis evolves, there will be numerous updates and developments. I invite you to visit the website at gymnasion.net/Atherealis to learn more about the 18 patrons and stay updated. This world is designed to grow and expand over time, so it won't be revealed all at once. Let me know what you think of the project so far. Your input and participation is highly valued. Comment below or send me a message. My handle is @GymnasionUK on YouTube, Substack, Twitter, and Instagram. Like, subscribe, share, bookmark so you don't miss the next post. And take a look at gymnasion.net for free stuff to help with your health and fitness. See ya!